Welcome to Raise on MTV, a YouTube video talking about the past, pop culture by two guys from Gen X. That's right. It's me, Monty Griffin, and the Nick Nolte of the 1980s. That's right, Eric Swaney. How are you, sir?
I'm just trying to throw you another pitch, Monty.
Exactly. You might recognize us from the host of the podcast 80s Only, but we decided we wanted to reach out and branch out. Eric, are you okay with this?
I'm fine with it. I'm great with it. Life got in the way. Monty wanted to branch out and do some other things. And I think that's a good idea. I think people were starting to get a little sick of us talking about the 80s so reverently. And they're like, we get it. The 80s were great. Would you guys move on, please?
So
So,
now we
so
move to how far away from the 80s, Eric?
now we've moved on to talking about things in 1990 today.
Wow, that's a big leap.
It may be other stuff, though. I mean, in the future, there may be other things than just this. But yes, 1990.
Exactly. So basically, what Raised on MTV is, Eric and I are Gen Xers. We were raised on MTV, VHS tapes, and most importantly, scrambled porn, and we turned out fine. Our ex-girlfriends might say differently, but hey, we were fine. We're going to go back in pop culture to see what happened and how this affected everything today with this garbage of pop culture that we have,
Yeah.
IP, influencers, and everything else. Of course, we're not trying to be influencers, are we, Eric?
No, no, no. You said scrambled porn, and I just started thinking about Sylvia Cristal.
That was our hot chick.
Yeah,
That was like,
yeah.
I
Look her
think
up, everybody. Look her up.
she died of lung cancer because she had like 5,000 cigarettes on each episode of whatever she
Yeah.
did. All right, Eric. What we're gonna do in 1990, incredible movie year, but it also is known for something else. Eric, what is it?
There were just it's an incredible movie year, but there were so many sequels. It was a big sequel year. Some good, some bad. You get your Die Hard. For every Die Hard 2, there was a horrible one that Monty's going to talk about.
Exactly.
And
We're
for
gonna
me, it was
start.
the horrible, horrible one.
We're doing bad sequels of 1990, and these either killed franchises or careers or both. Wow. We're going to do the first one. Eric and I were looking forward to this. We loved the first movie. It came out 8 years before. I'm talking about another 48 hours.
Yeah, another 48 hours that I wish we didn't have.
Yeah, I wish I could. I want those 2 hours back.
Yeah, yeah. So this was a bad sequel to 48 Hours. You lost James Remar, first of all. You lost a great bad guy. So already you're down. It's against you. You got Nick Nolte who's trying to sober up in real life, and he just is not as good.
You have Eddie Murphy, who is kind of having a little ego issues back in 89, 90. He thought he could direct Harlem Nights, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah. Eddie a little big for his britches. That they were, it was a peak time, and it was just a misfire.
Yeah,
And there are many reasons. What was your biggest dislike moment about this movie?
I'll go ahead in a minute. I just want to say the reason this movie came out is this movie invented the buddy cop movie, but it'd been so long, people forgot about it. And the year before these movies came out, Lethal Weapon 2, Loose Cannons, Tango and Cash, and Heart Condition. And two were good and two were not so good. Eric, do you remember anything about Loose Cannons?
Is that Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd and Gene Hackman. Listen to this. Ready?
Okay.
I wrote this down. Okay. Is a hard-nosed cop, Gene Hackman, paired with a detective with multiple personalities
Oh
to
God, yeah.
uncover
No,
a
yeah, yeah.
long lost sex tape with Hitler. What is this? Is this like a Mad
Yes.
Lib
Now,
to make a movie?
now I remember that that green lighting process had to be hilariously bad. And then because let's we need Dan Aykroyd doing more personalities.
Yes.
So and then yeah, that was bad. I don't even remember the other one you talked about, heartfelt or
No,
heart
Heart
sitter,
Condition. All right, check this one
heart
out. You
condition.
ready? Okay, Heart Condition, starring Bob Hoskins after after Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and
Hmm.
an up and coming guy who will win an Oscar that year, Denzel Washington.
Oh wow.
So basically, Bob Hoskins is a racist cop, loses his girlfriend to Denzel Washington, who gets killed. Bob Hoskins has to have a heart transplant, and whose heart does he get?
Denzel.
Denzel, and then he comes back as a ghost, and they solve the crime.
Oh God. This is just wow. I mean, think about these movies got made,
Yes.
Monty. I mean,
Hollywood
wow.
budgets. These are actual studio movies, not independent studio release movies.
This is when what it's because of these people were under contract, like Bob Hogg. Hey, and I saw a Gus Van Sant interview. I think maybe you sent it to me. I don't know. I saw and he said in the interview that there are times when you're so big, like as a director or something, and the studios they'll greenlight anything. Like they probably greenlit this movie for Bob Hoskins just so that someone could, and this is what Van Sant says, so they could sit there and say, "I've got his next picture.
Yeah.
I've got the next Hoskins." You know what I mean? And turns out it was crap, but
Yeah. He was hot after that. So it is what
yeah.
it is. Okay. So another 48 hours, they start developing. Eddie Murphy was paid 200,000 for the first one in 1982. Now his paycheck is $12 million. Wow. And Eddie Murphy wanted to go a little edgier because he'd been doing the Beverly Hills Cops movies. So he had an idea for a screenplay with some edge, and he called Walter Hill.
Oh, Walter Hill. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the go-to action guy.
Yeah, the director who directed the first one. And then Nick Nolte asked him to come back. He said, "Well, if this one sucks, we're 50%, one for two."
Yeah, and then he had that line that I repeated in the. All I remember is that line. The only thing I remember about this movie really is that line. He's thin, and he goes to the prison, and Reggie Eddie Murphy's playing basketball, and he says, "You lost weight." He goes, "Quit drinking," and
Hmm.
he goes, "I'm trying to throw you the basketball, Reggie," and that's all I remember. Then I think I mentally checked out.
It's horrible. Okay, so before the movie, the first cut of the movie, I read this, was 145 minutes. And then before it was released, it gets cut down to 2 hours either by Walter Hill, the director, or the studio, no one knows. And then a week before the movie comes out, they cut it down another 25 minutes to 95 minutes.
Wow, thank goodness though, right?
Yeah. So this leads to continuity errors, like missing scenes. Remember Fred McRae, the loud sergeant who's hilarious?
Mm-hmm.
Cut out of the movie.
Kind of the movie.
Brian James was in the movie. He basically becomes glorified extra. This is what he said. He said the studio felt that 2 hours was too much for a movie. And so this guy was the third lead in the movie. He gets cut down to glorified extra. And he said, after that, I never cared about anything else.
Wow.
And this movie made money, but it was supposed to be the summer movie. This movie kills the franchise. And most importantly, Eddie Murphy doesn't work again for 2 more summers.
He had to do a little penance for that one. That was
Yeah,
just
it's
awful. That
just
movie was awful. Wow.
but back like we're like young, like we're like 2021 that summer, and we like almost anything. And Eddie Murphy was our favorite. And Eddie Murphy, that's the two back-to-back horrible movies, Harlem Nights and Another 40 Hours. And I was just like,
Yeah.
ooh, that kind of starts Eddie's swoon down,
Yeah.
which he'll get back in 1996 with Nutty Professor. All right, Another 48 Hours. Don't recommend.
Eh. No. Thumbs all the way down.
Uh,
All the way down for another 48 hours. In fact, I can't even remember. And I'm starting to remember more stuff, Monty. And that movie I can't remember because it's so bad.
yeah, don't remember it. Don't remember it. All right, we'll talk another one here next time. See you all later.
Bye.